What if life isn't about getting somewhere, but about awakening to where you already are? What if every moment, no matter how ordinary, is actually an invitation to wake up? That's the sacred whisper behind the Book of Awakening, a spiritual daybook of deep seeing written by the soul poet and cancer survivor, Mark Nepo. This isn't just a collection of essays. It's a guide, a companion, a daily ritual, a friend who sits with you in the stillness and says, "It's okay, I see you." Mark Nepo didn't write from theory. He wrote from the edge of life, having faced a rare and aggressive form of cancer that cracked him open. From that edge, he discovered something most of us overlook in the blur of daily life: that aliveness isn't something you chase. It's something you notice. Each of the 365 entries in this book begins with a quote, sometimes a line from Rilke, a whisper from Rumi, a chant from the Native American tradition, or a snippet of his own poetry. Then follows a reflection, raw, honest, unpretentious, and a practice, a meditation, a question, or a way to return to presence. It's not a book you binge, it's a book you become. There's an entry called The Art of Facing Things. Mark writes, "As water smooths stone, we are shaped by what we move through more than by what we carry." Let that sink in. We often think our burdens define us, the things we carry. But Nepo says no. It's what we pass through, the storms, the silences, the honest conversations, that mold us. There's a story he shares about watching his dog run through snow. The dog doesn't think. He doesn't analyze. He runs because he feels joy. And Mark reminds us, we used to know how to live like that, before the noise, before the rush, before we forgot to look up. He writes about grief, not to offer solutions, but to sit in the ache with us. He says, "The pain was necessary to know the truth, but we don't have to keep the pain alive to keep the truth alive." Grief, he tells us, is not something to conquer. It's something to move through, to honor, not to fear, to allow, like a wave washing over us, teaching us that loss and love are two sides of the same river. Then there's joy, not the hyped up, social media kind of joy, but the quiet, sturdy joy of just being, the joy that comes when you stand in the sun, feel the breeze on your face, and remember that you're still here, that your breath is your proof, that presence is enough. He tells us to slow down, to really taste our food, to actually listen when someone speaks, to look in the mirror and smile, not because everything's perfect, but because we're still becoming. One of the most beautiful threads in the book is the idea of living wide awake, to see each moment as sacred, to let go of the idea that awakening is some mystical destination far away. No, it's here, in the dishes, in the traffic, in the laughter, in the tears. Mark Nepo writes, "We waste so much energy trying to cover up who we are, when beneath every attitude is the want to be loved, and beneath every anger is a wound to be healed." These aren't just words, they're mirrors. You begin to see yourself in his reflections. You remember that life isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about being real through it. It's about asking, what is this moment trying to teach me? What is my heart saying beneath all this noise? How can I return to love, even here? Nepo teaches that awakening is a practice. It's not a one-time epiphany. It's daily, messy, beautiful, sometimes boring, often brave. And that's the genius of this book. You don't need to escape your life to become enlightened. You need to enter it, fully, deeply, with your eyes open and your heart soft. Because the sacred is not somewhere else. It's here, in this moment, in this breath, in the simple act of showing up. So if you've ever felt lost or numb or like you're just going through the motions, the Book of Awakening is a gentle callback to your soul. It will not shout at you. It will sit beside you like a friend in the dark and offer a candle, just enough light to take the next honest step. And over time, page by page, day by day, something inside you shifts. You begin to see, to feel again, to remember that being alive is not a task, it's a gift. Thank you for joining me in this sacred reading of the Book of Awakening. If it stirred something in you, even a whisper, don't let that moment pass. Subscribe to Book Dose, where books breathe life and stories become soul food. Drop a comment below. What entry in your life needs awakening? Like, share, and pass this dose forward, because the world is starving for this kind of truth. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to wake up, one beautiful moment at a time. This is Book Dose, and this is your daily awakening.